So welcome. Today we will discuss about external motivating factor or extrinsic motivating factors. What are they? Any idea about it? Yes. What are extrinsic or external motivating factors? We talked about how the internal factors, the psychology of tourist, his perception, and other internal factors, how they affect the decision making. Now, today we will talk about how external motivating factors affect outside his psyche, outside in the environment. What are the factors? Yes. Any idea? So let's start with first, which I consider the. You can see the board. You can see the board. It is
Yes, sir.
extrinsic or external motivating factors. First, it is place of origin, a place of birth, a place of. Look, there are two types of places, 2 points in tourism: origin place and destination place. A host place and destination place. So, place of origin of tourist, how it affects the decision making. Yes, how it affects as a motivating factor. We have talked about motivation, what is motivation, how it affects us, how it works. So how it affects the decision of how the place of origin, a place of birth, you can say, a place of residence of tourist affects his or her decision. We are talking about that. Any example?
So, for examples, we people are living in plains, so we are attracted to the
Yes, exactly.
topography, which
We
is
are
not.
living in plains, so we are attracted to. Yes,
So, which is not seen here, like coasts and mountains.
yes. We want to go to mountains or beaches and a different place. That is a very valid point. Yes. And does a country or region affects the. Yes. We talked about in earlier class that there is a thing called sunlust. Look, European people don't get the sun enough, don't get enough sunlight. So they want to go to the places where the sunlight is abundant. Is that so? That is called sunlust. So it affects this factor, this place where they are living, where they were born, where they are resident now. They want to. There is not enough sun, so they want to go to the place where the sun is there. As Mugdha said that if we are living in plain, then we want to go to mountainous area or to the sea. Yes. So that is a factor. And any other? Any other factor?
So, culture also plays a role.
Culture, we will come to the culture later, and we were talking about place of origin. So we will come to it again. And another important factor is family and age. Family and age. How it affects our decision making in choosing a destination place, a going to a particular place or going when to a particular place. We talked about in earlier class. This is also important when we are going, when we take the decision of going, and where we want to go. Is there any difference in India is happen that negative or positive to tourism in family structure? Yes, in family structure. In you can say that, although this point is debatable, you can say that nuclear families, in nuclear family, people are more outgoing. They want to go out more often. Is that so or not? Yes. I'm saying that in nuclear families, people want to go more often to other places, to tourist places. Is that so? Am I right or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Why? Why they want to go? Yes. More often? Yes. Yes. No idea. Because they have more money and they are not, they can take the decisions easily, they can make the program easily. If you are living in a extended family, then more people will want to go with you, and perhaps one or two members don't have time, so your program get postponed. It happens or not? So that is the structure of family also that affects our decision making in where to go and when to go. These both points are very important. Where to go and when to go. When you decide to go and where you decide to go. And this is the family structure also affects the decision. And does age have an impact on age of a tourist? Yes. Yes. Age have a factor. Yes. Does age have an impact? Yes.
Yes, sir. I think youngster want to go more often.
Youngster wants to go more often. That is about frequency. What about their choice of destination and the time? Choice of destination does age have any effect on our choice of destination? Yes.
Yes, sir. So
How?
youngsters more often choose adventurous places.
Yes,
where they
youngster
can
more
perform
often
adventure.
choose adventurous places, and maybe elder people don't want to. They want to go to serene places. And if the decision maker is a child, then these days children have an upper hand in decision making. Yes. Then suppose you are going to USA. Your child is more interested in Hong Kong. Your child is more interested in watching, going to, what is the most favored destination of children in Hong Kong?
So Disneyland.
Yes, it is Disneyland. He or she will want to go to Disneyland, and maybe his parents are not that interested in visiting Disneyland, and the child is crazy about it. So his or her choice of destination is impacted by his or her age. Age is a factor. Okay? Age, and we will come to culture later. So, age is a factor in our decision making, when we have to go and where we have to. These two most important factors in the age group of around 5 to 45, around they are more interested in going to Disneyland, and elderly people want to go to museums. One movie I have seen that says that museums are for elderly and children. Young people don't go to museums. Museums, there are museums in every city. So the protagonist in that film, that movie, says that museums are for children and elderly, not for us, not for young people like us. So age and family structure impacts our decision making, where to go and when to go, very, very strongly. It's a very important input. Someone was talking about culture. How culture affects our decision making in choosing our destination. How culture. Yes. Someone was
So we want to explore new culture.
new culture,
Or
yes.
at other places.
And your culture affects your choice of destination?
Yes, sir.
How? Yes, how our culture, our choices, what is culture? Culture is our habits, culture is our beliefs, culture is our thinking, culture is our taboos. So they affect our decision making, where to go and when to go. I had given an example that interestingly in India, most of the tourists going to Kashmir first go to Vaishno Devi and then they go to Kashmir. When they finish visiting Vaishno Devi, then they say that, okay, let's have a tour of valley also. That is also. Okay. So, and in India, religious tourism is very high. Kedarnath. People don't go to Kedarnath, Badrinath, or Chardham for trekking. They go for religious reasons. If you go to Makkah, you are not going to Makkah as a tourist. You are going for performing a religious duty. Suppose in India there was a very interesting travel that people in old ages tend to go to Varanasi. They say that there was a saying that if we die in Varanasi, then we will go to paradise, or Swarg. Have you heard about it? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Why they go to? Is there a saying that if you die in Varanasi, then you will go to? There was also some distinction. If you die on right bank of Ganga, then you will go to Swarg, and if you die on left bank of south bank of Ganga, you will not go to Swarg, you will go to Narak. Something, if I am right, if I remember it correctly. But there is a distinction. There was Sapt Rishi towns in Varanasi was one of those towns, and if you die, it was a belief that if you die in Varanasi, then and in Muslims also there was a tendency, people used to pray that I want to die during Hajj, because then I will go to Jannat. There was. Now this feeling is, both these feelings are lessened, because the average age of Hajj pilgrimage is reduced now. People go to perform Hajj in young ages. Earlier it was elderly mainly who go to perform Hajj in the twilight of their life. So culture is, and suppose you detest a particular culture, you will not go there. Suppose you are fond of a particular culture, you will choose the place having that culture as your favorite place. And there is a very important factor of social class. Social class, how it affects our decision making. Does it have an impact on our decision making, where to go and when to go? Yes. Yes. Social class means your place in society and your income level. Your economic class also comes under the social class. At least for this discussion we can say that. Social class, if you have enough money, then where you will go? If you have abundant money, then where will you go? Where you will prefer? Yes. Suppose you have a choice of Agra and you have a choice of Switzerland. Where will you go? Does income have to do so? Switzerland. If you have abundant money. If you have less money, a limited amount of money and time, then what you will do? You will perhaps take a day trip. You will perhaps prefer a day trip to Agra and come back. There's a different, interesting term about the day tourist. That is day tripper. After the Second World War, the train was on the rise. Day trippers go to beach and they come back in the evening. The day tripper was increased. The day tripper activity was increased. So if you have, it depends on your class. If you belong to elite class, you will prefer to go to abroad, or exotic places, or the expensive places. Do you know that elite class does most of their shopping? Elite class means filthy rich, I am talking about. Most of their shopping in Dubai. Yes. So that is also a type of tourism. They go to Dubai, they buy their purses and their watches and their clothes from there. How much they cost? Can you imagine? A good watch cost, or a good purse? Yes. It starts from 2 lakhs or something. If you buy a lady's purse in Champel is a street in Paris. If you buy a lady's purse, it starts from around 2 lakhs, more than 2 lakhs. The cheapest purse is costing 2 lakhs. Or if you buy a Cartier watch or Montblanc pen, it starts from 2-3 lakhs. So if you have good money, then you go to shop in those places. Why? We've talked about it. Yes. We will discuss it a little later. Then one more factor is market. What is market here? Market is demand and currency rate is very important. Suppose currency rate is very important. Main factors are extrinsic motivation are place of origin, family and age, culture, social class, and market. We will have a detailed discussion